Hi ladies, who's ready to learn how to marble? I've been having fun with this. It's much easier than I thought, although I did find out that tools are more important than anything. So you can see I'm using the super fine GelMoment nail art brush, and it comes in, I'll show you quickly the creativity set. This is it. You get 20 brushes, it's $40 Canadian, but these little guys on the end, they're dual sided. So you have a fine and then a bigger one. So they're all different sizes. So actually you're getting like 30 different size tools. Everything from fan brushes, 2 different sizes, super fine, stiff. There's just everything you need in here to create any kind of look or effect you're going for. For marbling though, I've just been using this little guy. Alrighty, let's get started. So I'm going to show you marbling on 2 different colors. We're going to do a light and a dark. So let's start with the light. You're going to want your base color as deep as you want. So this is already 1 coat cured, and I'm going to roll my polish, and the base of whatever color you're using, it needs to be wet. So again, that's 1 color or 1 coat cured. So I'm going to paint that again. So like I usually do, only 2 coats of polish depending on what color the polish is. So we'll do this coat on here, and then we get right into the marble. So with this layer being wet, it allows that polish and the marble to bloom or kind of bleed into each other, if you will. Even cap this. So it's perfect all the way through. Okay, so once that is looking how you want it, I have my marbling colors up here. So what I'm going to be using today, and I'll show you what I do, I just simply take a glob of gel. This mat is amazing. One of the reasons I love it, you can make a mess and not feel bad about it or be wasteful. So I'm going to use, instead of black, because black can be kind of harsh, and you have to be a little bit more careful with black, but Evening Storm is nice because it's a little bit softer. So here we go. Dip your brush through, so you just kind of drag it through. See how fine that is? If you get a bubble on the end, you can just drag it kind of off your brush. Otherwise you'll kind of get a kind of a dot on it. So the more irregular, the better. If you look at any kind of natural stone or marble in this case, nothing is symmetrical, nothing is the same, no 2 slabs are alike. So the more random, the better. And you're just going to pick up polish as you need it. I keep a cleansing wipe just close by so I can wipe off. If I'm switching colors, I can just easily wipe it off. So there, something like that. Okay. And then when you're done with that color, like I said, you can wipe it off. And then what I do is I go into Clearly Frisky. Clearly Frisky is going to be the key to success in marbling. So what it's going to do is just kind of water this down. So you're just going to drag Clearly Frisky through that color, and it's just going to water it down. Just kind of spread it around, drag it through. Like I said, the more random, the better. And you can kind of vein it out like a natural stone would look. See how it's looking? Nothing should look symmetrical or the same. If that's looking too light for you, just go back into your darker color. In this case, it's Evening Storm. You can add a little bit of definition. There you go. So if you want to add a little bit of sparkle, you can. So I think with this, silver might look kind of cool. So just dip in, I'm using chandelier here. And you can just add a little bit wherever you would like it to be. Just for a little bit of sparkle. And another trick I found too is to not overwork the gel. So I think at this point I'm just going to leave it, and I'm going to cure that. So just stick it under your light. 45 seconds there. Okay, so while that one cures, I'm going to put the second coat of color on our dark marble. So this is going to be Midnight Walk. So again, give that give that polish a roll, and we are going to put on a second coat and leave it wet on Midnight Walk. So thin coats as always. You can marble over any color you like. On my nails, I did underwater haze, and then I marbled with a black and a white, and I added some gold sparkle. You can really do it with whatever colors you want. Okay, so there's our wet coat of Midnight Walk. And this time, instead of marbling with dark, I'm going to use white. So again, I'm just cleaning my brush off on a cleansing pad. So it's clean because we are going into white this time. Alrighty, so more random lines, veining. So there you go. You can see the white fairly bright on there, and it looks like too perfect, right? So now to get it to bleed or bloom, get into that Clearly Frisky and just drag it around. Drag through that color so it moves and blends. It's not so perfect. Okay, so that's a lighter marble. So if you want to make it a little bit crisper, clean your brush off and get back into that white, and you can add a little bit more definition. A little bit more, and then I think on this one we can add a little bit of gold sparkle. Might look nice and bright on the dark blue. So cleaning my brush and just gonna add a little bit of gold sparkle, just some little touches. There, I'm happy with that. Again, you don't want to overwork it because then it just gets too mucky, muddled looking. So gonna cure that one, pop it under the light. Okay, so here's our light one. Now the key, after you've spent your time on this marble, you're gonna wanna seal it so it wears as long as your regular mani would. Just because you put extra time in there, let's seal it. So we need Clearly Frisky. Hang tight, I think I put it back in my case. Sorry guys. Got it. Okay, Clearly Frisky, just to sandwich that gel. And this will just smooth it all out and make it look perfect. Clearly Frisky has become one of my most used gels. I'll do that in another video. There, okay, so pop that under the light one more time. Okay, so that's how this one came out, pretty cool. I love the gold. So again, we're just gonna coat that in Clearly Frisky to seal all that beauty we just did on there. But you guys can see how quick the marbling is, and honestly, the quicker the better. If you spend too much time, it gets to look too muddled. When I first did mine, I ended up wiping it. So yeah, worst case scenario, you're marbling and it gets a little out of control, just take your cleanser wipe and simply wipe it all off. It cannot dry, it can't adhere to your skin unless it's under the light. So when I was doing mine, I ended up I put too much gold, then too much white, and just kept wiping it off until I had it exactly how I wanted it. And then I just figured out that less is more and don't overwork the gel. Hear that one? So there's the white. and that is with Evening Storm, and I used Chandelier, little bits of silver sparkle on there, make it pop. And then I'll show you the dark one once it comes out of the lamp. And again, like I said, the tool is key. I've tried it with a toothpick, but it just doesn't drag through. It's too firm, almost like this is just a soft brush, so you can really work it and pull it around, where toothpick is really hard and pointy, so it's hard to get those fluid lines. You could try like a children's paintbrush or something if you have something this fine, but I do find, just like I find with makeup, no matter kind of how good or bad the product is, if you have the proper tools, you can make it look somewhat decent. And there is the dark one. So again, that was with, I used for the white, Meet Me at the Chapel. And so the blue's Midnight Walk, obviously, Meet Me at the Chapel. And then I just added a little bit of Guilty Soiree in there for a gold sparkle. So could you guys see yourself kind of rocking some of those marbled nails? I have one on this hand, two on that hand that I did. They're just fun, something different. So I hope that helps you guys out. Happy marbling.